don't make us who we are. So I'll dream until I make it real, and all I see is...
Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and this is Lynn's Wonderful World of Makeup and More. For those of you that are new here, welcome. I'm glad you chose to click on this video. I hope you enjoy my content and you will consider subscribing and becoming a member of our family. When you do, make sure you turn on your notification bell and set it to all. That way you get notified each and every time I upload some new content, because I do upload often and we have a lot of fun over here on this channel. For those of you that have stayed with me this long, you guys are awesome. I apologize for my absence this past week. I had some family issues going on, and I also had a flare-up over the weekend, so I was not feeling that well. As you can see, it is Monday, and I am not doing my Monday mask. This is a special video. Today is Lupus Awareness Day. I personally suffer from lupus, so anytime I can find a way to educate people and spread awareness about this disease, I take the opportunity. Every year since I've been diagnosed with it, we do the Walk for Lupus here in Baltimore. They do it all around the United States in several different cities. It is a walk you can do solo or as a team, and you get people to make pledges for donations for when you complete your walk, and the money goes straight to the Lupus Foundation to fund research for a cure and education. So they have a campaign called the No Lupus campaign, and it was created to raise awareness for lupus and to raise funds for lupus research, because it's estimated that 2/3 of the public knows nothing or next to nothing about lupus other than the name. I myself was guilty of that before I was diagnosed with it. Once I was diagnosed with it, I did research to educate myself so that I could try to maintain a more manageable lifestyle. It can cause a great deal of pain and discomfort. So it's estimated that 5 million people in the world are affected with some form of lupus. And although it's an autoimmune disease that can affect any race, age, and both males and females, 90% of people that have lupus are women, and out of the women, Black women are most affected out of all the races. They don't know why. That's just the statistics that they have. Having lupus does not mean you cannot lead a productive, normal life. It just takes a little bit of adjustment, and pretty much you just have to control and manage your pain and the symptoms. But there are a lot of people that suffer from lupus that have great lives. Tony Braxton, Seal, Tim Raines, and even Michael Jackson all lived with lupus. The key to lupus is being able to control and manage it, like I said, but first you have to recognize its symptoms. It's very easy for it to be misdiagnosed as many other things, because there's so many little factors that they have to put together. That's why it took so long for them to diagnose me properly. I was not telling every doctor all the symptoms. Finally, back in 2018, when I went to see a heart specialist, I was telling her several different things, and right before she went to walk out the room, I can't even remember what the last thing was that I told her, but she stopped dead in her tracks, and she asked me had I ever told one doctor all of the things, and I told her no. And when you hear the symptoms, you'll understand why. One of the first signs of it is usually joint pain. It tends to be in your hands and your knees. I am most affected by it in my hands and my knees, and more than any other joint in my body. It can also affect your ankles, pretty much any joints you have, but the main place that I have it is in my knees and my hand. You can also have unexplained hair loss. And when I say that, people generally think of your like hair falls out in clumps like you may see in people that lose their hair from chemo and things like that. But that's not how it happens when you have lupus. It tends to fall out more slowly and gradually. And it also is not just on the hair on your head. It will be like your eyebrows and your eyelashes, and like if you may have some hair on your arms, places like that, you will see your hair thinning out as well. Another very common factor is fatigue, and it can range anywhere from mild to severe. It can make it very difficult to do exercise, and sometimes just to perform daily activities. I know that I've had times when my lupus has flared up that I literally could not even lift myself to sit up in the bed, much less get up and do anything. It's really, I'm fortunate that I have Harry, someone that will do things for me when I'm not feeling well. Not everybody out there has that luxury. There's also other things that can happen. A lot of times you can have a low-grade fever for no reason at all. And when it comes to the fatigue, that's usually a sign that you're about to have a flare-up. If you're more tired than usual, or you have a lot of days in a row that you're extremely fatigued, it's a pretty good indicator that you're about to have a flare-up. Lupus affects your major organs. It's basically your body turns on itself, and your organs start to destroy themselves. Kidney problems is one of the main ones. It's called nephritis, and it's when your body has difficulty flushing out the toxins and wastes from your blood. You can experience swelling in your fingers, your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet. High blood pressure and foamy or dark urine are also signs that you could have lupus. And that's why I said it's very hard to diagnose. All those little things separately do not sound like anything too severe, but when you put them all together, it can cause a great disruption in your day-to-day activities. Another common one is chest pains, and that is because it causes a lot of inflammation, and it can cause inflammation in your lungs and in your heart and in the membranes that surround your heart. So that can make it you have difficulty breathing and cause chest pains. One of the common things you hear when people talk about lupus is the butterfly rash. And in all actuality, only 30% of the people that suffer from lupus get this rash. But it is called the butterfly rash because that's what it's shaped like. And it generally tends to come on the cheeks or across the bridge of the nose. Some people get it on their lower legs. I do get it on my lower legs, and I can generally tell when I get that rash that I am about to have a flare-up. A large number of people that have lupus have a sensitivity to light. I definitely have that. When it's summertime or when it's sunny outside, I have to have sunglasses on, or I literally cannot go outside. And there's days that I wake up, I can't even have the light on in the room. Or a lot of times in the middle of the night, if one of us picks up our phone and turns it on, the light is so bright that it literally hurts my eyes. Some other symptoms can be anemia, seizures, dizziness, thyroid problems, gastrointestinal problems, dry mouth, dry eyes, and depression. So like I said, it's pretty hard to diagnose when you have those kinds of symptoms, because there's so many other illnesses that can mimic the symptoms that are caused by lupus. Like I said, it's an autoimmune disease that causes your body to turn on itself, affecting your major organs like your kidneys, heart, lungs, and brain, along with your joints. It increases the risk of cardiovascular problems like heart attacks, strokes, and TIA, or mini strokes. And I did not know until today that there's actually 4 different kinds of lupus. There's neonatal, cutaneous, drug-induced, and systemic. Systemic, or the one they refer to as SLE, is 70% of all people that have lupus have the systemic version. And more than half of the people that suffer from systemic lupus have one or more of their major organs that are affected. But the fatality rate for people with lupus is fairly low. Only 10 to 15% of people that suffer from lupus die prematurely from anything that is from any complications that stem from lupus itself. But more than half of the people that suffer from lupus are affected by depression and anxiety. Most of the time it is due to major external changes that the disease causes, like the hair loss, the swelling, and the weight gain. And they seem to think that it is most common, since the majority of the people that suffer from lupus are women. And when we have changes on the outside, like hair loss, for example, weight gain, it tends to lower our self-esteem. As you guys know, I just recently had to cut my hair off. It was not related to the lupus. It was from another medication I was taking, but I know what I felt like when I had to cut off all my hair, and I was really upset for a minute. But I realized that my hair was not who I am. So a lot of people, though, when their physical appearance changes, it can really, really mess with their self-esteem. There are things you can do that can help you manage and live a normal life. The number one thing being exercise. A lot of people think, especially when they're hurting or they're fatigued, the last thing they want to do is get up and exercise. But if you keep moving, it can delay and even prevent disability and the loss of your independence. I know I've had several doctors tell me that eventually I am going to end up in a wheelchair. I refuse to accept that. I do my best to do as much walking as I can. I do have a harder time during the winter. Unfortunately, in the winter, there can be days at a time that I do not get up and leave the house because my legs hurt so bad I cannot take I can't take the cold. And I just can't go out in it. But it also... exercising can actually reduce your fatigue, and it can boost your mood. It releases endorphins in the brain, which can reduce your sensitivity to pain and lower your depression rate. The other thing is to have a healthy diet. There's not a specific diet that they have in mind when it comes to maintaining your lupus. You just basically need to do a well-balanced diet. Of course, one that has plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. They say you should eat a lot of foods that are rich in omega-3. That has been linked to better sleep and reduced depression. It also has an anti-inflammatory effect on the body, but you have to be mindful because there is omega-6, which is the exact opposite. It does the opposite and might actually contribute to chronic diseases. It's also important to make sure your vitamin D level is right. If it is not, you should take vitamin D supplements. I myself, my doctor gives me, I think it's 50,000 IUDs, and I have a little gel cap that I have to take once a week, and that keeps my vitamin D level up. But the best way to get natural vitamin D is to go out in the sunlight. 15 minutes a day out in the sunlight can keep your vitamin D level up at a healthy rate. It is also good for your mood. When all this stuff started and the pandemic kicked in and they were talking about social distancing, I got really depressed and anxious, And when I was talking to my psychiatrist, and he was asking me what was the things I was worried about, and I told him I was worried about, getting to my doctor's appointments and picking up my medication and being able to get to the grocery store, because I use public transportation. And he helped me resolve that, pointing out there were certain stores that were close, certain things that were close enough for me to walk to. And he also wanted me to go outside. He told me that he wanted me to go outside for 15 minutes a day, that I didn't necessarily have to go outside and go in a crowd of people or interact with anybody. He wanted me to go outside, like even in my backyard, for 15 minutes a day and just sit and see that everything is still out there and it's beautiful, and just be in the sunlight, because like I said, that the sunlight can actually decrease your depression level. Another thing is to limit alcohol. There's nothing about drinking alcohol that directly affects a person that has lupus, but drinking alcohol can reduce the effectiveness of certain medications, especially anti-inflammatories and anticoagulants, both of which are prescribed a lot for people that suffer from lupus, especially the anti-inflammatories. That's one of the main things that they can do to control the pain. It is actually one of the best pain relievers that you can use over top of narcotic pain medicine or anything for like nerve damage. The anti-inflammatory medicines are the most effective. Simple over-the-counter ibuprofen. And then, of course, you should reduce your fat and your salt intake. That's with anybody. I personally don't use a lot of salt. I changed the way I ate a long time ago when I had a surgery done that affected my eating habits. And I did not know that, like I said, I didn't know there were 4 different kinds. Babies are prone to a type of lupus called neonatal lupus. Thankfully, that is a benign form, and it is very rare, and it is something that they usually grow out of within a matter of months. Then you have discoid lupus. Now that leaves scars and lesions, usually appearing on the scalp, causing a scaly or crusty appearance, and can even cause hair loss. It tends to be misdiagnosed as simple psoriasis. Certain drugs like hydralazine and proclamamide can cause lupus. That's the drug-induced lupus. Stopping the use of those medications is usually enough to clear up the symptoms in a matter of a few weeks. 80% of people live with lupus for more than 15 years. Like I said, the SLE, the systemic lupus erythematosus, I can never say that word right, counts for 70% of all cases. 2 to 7 new cases per 10,000 people appear each year, and 9 times more women are likely to suffer from lupus than men. And like I said, they do not know why, guys. But like I said, today is Lupus Awareness Day. If you know somebody that has lupus, or you suffer from lupus yourself, then you know how important it is for them to have funding for research. Like I said, there's no known cure, and they don't even know what actually causes it, even though it has been being studied for a very long time now. The only thing that they can do right at the moment is try to help to maintain our pain level and help us do things that will keep us in a more healthy, active lifestyle. Like I said, using exercise. There's so many things you can do besides taking medication. I soak my legs in a hot bath. I have a little sinus thing, a little pillow that I got at Marshall's that you can heat up in the microwave and make it warm, and you put it around your head. It releases a lavender scent, which can be calming, and it also blocks out the light when I'm having my headaches from my sensitivity to light. When I cook with my foods, I use a lot of fresh garlic. I use cayenne, which is a natural anti-inflammatory. There's a lot of things you can do that can help relieve your symptoms other than just go and take some medications. Like I said, exercise is one of the very best ways. I know that sounds like it would be the total exact opposite, but it's not. We can be out and we may have to go somewhere that may be 3 blocks up the street, and it can be a day that my legs are bothering me. And sometimes Harry will say there's a bus coming, you want to get on the bus, and he's trying to make sure that I can rest my legs and that I'm not overdoing it. And in actuality, I found out that it's the reverse. If I walk those 3 blocks instead of getting on the bus, I have better strength in my legs. I get more flexibility. The pain decreases. And in all actuality, when I get up and move around and exercise, I sleep better at night. So if you guys don't know much about this, you can go to, I believe it's www.lupus.org, or you can go to Google and type in Walk for Lupus, and it will take you to websites that will tell you facts about the illness. It will give you links if you want to make donations to charities that do funding for research and education. I do know that the Walk for Lupus that we participate in, when people make the pledges, the donations go straight to the Lupus Foundation. 90% of that money is used for funding for research to find a cure, and the other 10% is used to go towards educating the public, and to help people that have certain needs and things that they can't afford. That's all I have for you guys. Like I said, I just wanted to take a moment to use this to try to spread some awareness. It is Lupus Awareness Day. May is Lupus Awareness Month. I will leave the links to those, I will put those websites down in the description box if anybody wants to get more information. Like I said, if you personally suffer from it, or you know someone that suffers from it, you understand just how debilitating it can be at times. But with proper maintenance and a little change in your lifestyle, you can pretty much lead a normal, productive life. You are still going to have flare-ups, and you are going to have times when it's not the best, but it's not as horrible as I thought it was going to be when I was first diagnosed with it. I thought it was the end of the world. I seriously thought that I was going to be in a wheelchair by now, and that's why I say when the doctors tell me that I am going to eventually end up in a wheelchair, I don't believe it. I believe as long as I keep exercising and doing the physical therapy with my legs. Harry helps me out. He helps me rotate my legs. He helps me bend them. We walk. We do strengthening exercises. There's a lot of things that you can do to help yourself. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for staying with me this long, and thank you for watching this special video. I know it's not my regular Monday morning mask. Tomorrow I will be back with my Tuesday tryouts, and I will be explaining to you guys the changes that are going to be coming to my channel. If you're new here, like I said, please hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell. If everybody could go over and rate this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would really mean a lot to me. It will let YouTube know that you guys are enjoying my content. It would also get this video pushed up in the algorithm and exposed to people that may not necessarily have had exposure to my channel. when I do videos like this that are for a special cause, I like to try to get them to reach out as far as possible. Like I said, 2/3 of people either don't know anything at all or very, very little about lupus, even though it is something that has been around for a very long time. So that's all I have for you guys. So until next time, stay beautiful and stay blessed. Love and hugs, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.